Summer. 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 Summer vacation is coming soon, kids. Not soon enough, though. Morning drink. Love it. Good coffee. Anyway, you still have work to do, kids. Lots of work. Don't. I didn't check my microphone to make sure it's working, so I'm going to check that right now. Working. Yep. Don't underestimate the amount of work that you have to do. Don't slack off. Do work hard. The world needs more kids and adults that are willing to put in the effort and the work. So that's what you're doing. If you're here, hopefully you're not cheating. Nobody needs the cheater. If you're here to cheat, turn this off. I don't want to help you. I don't even like you. But if you're here to work, then you're my favorite. Unless, of course, you're working at cheating, and then that's just terrible. All right. You guys ready to get going? Here we go. This is going to be January 2013, Part 1, Problems 1 through 14. So, let's see how we do. I hate this thing. There we go. And I got to switch, though. All right, so let's see what we got here, chillin'. All right, looks like we got some kind of exponential graph. It goes to the point 0, 1. That's usually, and it looks got that bend in it. That's usually a tall tail sign. That's an exponential graph. So, I could do this. I could say, okay, let me plug in -1, and let's see if I get 2 out. Well, if I plug in -1 here, I get 2 to the -1, and hopefully you know exponents just turn things into fractions, negative exponents. So this would be 1 over 2, 1/2. So that doesn't look like it's the right answer, but I'm going to check later. This one gives me 2 to the -1, which is really just 2 to the 1, which is 2. Ah, that one's looking promising. This one's odd. I got to put things in backwards. Let's see. The y value is 2. So if I put in 2 squared, I get 4, but I should get -1. So that doesn't look too good. And then if I put in 2 to the -2, that's 1 over 2 squared, which is just 1/4. That's not, so this looks like the answer. Now, I should probably be able to test that. I'll just come over here. Go to graph, and then type in, I forgot what it was, 2 to the -x. 2 raised to the -x. Just to see if it gives me that picture. Ah, it does. And we are all set with the problem. Moving on, kids. Which ordered pair is in the solution? So let's see. I'm going to guess pretty much all of them are going to add up to 5. What do you think? Let's see. Add to 5, add to 5, add to 5, add to 5. Ooh, exciting. So this is a completely useless equation because they all add to 5. So what they're really trying to figure out is which one's going to give you 53. Now, you're squaring two numbers and you got to get the 53. Real quick, this is just me and my brain. I did 49 and 4. Gives me 53. Now, why did I pick those? Because that's a perfect square and that's a perfect square. So I'm going to look for the pair that gives me either this to be a 7 and this to be a 4 or vice versa. So 7, that would have to make this a 4. We have an x equals a 4? No. But I can make this a 7 by making this -4. So -4 here. And then that would be 9. 9 plus 3. Nah, that's not going to work. Maybe this is not going to work. 9 plus 3 is 12. Oh, wait, I did these backwards. I got these backwards. Oh, my gosh, I'm so stupid. Hold on. So, let's try this again. 9 minus 3, that would give me 6. I'm just checking this one. I always check at the end if I'm going to check them backwards. And -4 plus 3 is -1. That's 1, and that's 36. That ain't going to do it. I'm just plugging them in. Let's try 10. So 10 minus 3, that 10 goes in for y. That's 7. That works. Ah. That's 7. That'll give me 7 squared, which is my 49. And then negative 5 plus 3 gives me my negative 2 squared is 4. And there's my answer, choice 3. Yes! Moving on up to the top. All right. A relationship between T, a student's test score, and D, a student's score in college, is modeled by this equation. Based on this linear regression model, the correlation coefficient could be. Now, basically what you have here is a starting score of like 75 and a slope of about a half. All right, so would the correlation coefficient be 0? Probably not. Probably not. Would it be negative? Nope. Would it be between negative 1 and 0? This is again asking negative. No. It has a positive correlation, and it kind of coincides with the positive slope right there. That's the easiest way to think about it. There's your answer. What is the ratio of the geometric? Geometric means we're going to be multiplying. So to go from negative 2 to 4, I multiply by negative 2. To go from 4 to negative 8, I multiply by negative 2. To go from negative 8 to positive 16, I multiply by negative 16. What's the common ratio? Negative 2. Ooh, this test was easy. What value of k will make this a solution not a function? They always ask not a function. So what we're looking for is repeating x values, and I'll show you why in a second. So if it has repeating x values, it's not a function. So I can't have an 8. Do I have an 8? No. Can't have a 3. Do I have a 3? Yep, there it is, right there, 3. So k cannot equal 3. Now, if you graph these points, 8, 2, 7, 5, 3, 6, and 3, 4, now putting in a 3 here, wouldn't they fail the vertical line test? And there's another test to see if they're a function. All right, we just talked about this a couple seconds ago, so we got two things to talk about with this one. One is the fact that if you have a negative exponent, it turns it into a fraction. So 1 over this whole thing, 9x squared y to the 6, now to the positive 1/2. Then you got to remember that anytime you have a fraction, you have a root. Square root, cube root, fourth root, fifth root, sixth root, square root, rooty root. It's a square root. Because it's at 1/2, it's a square root. So really what you have here is 1 over the square root of 9x squared y to the 6th. So the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x squared is x. And the square root of y to the 6th, remember, for every 2 you can take out a y. So this is y cubed. We leave 1 on the top. Ka-chang! We could have gotten rid of that one immediately. All right. Going on, kiddies. Woo, flying. Yeah, we're flying. Oh, page width. Keep hitting the wrong thing. All right, so what do we got here? A survey team revealed a mean amount of bottled water consumed by students to be 153 and a standard deviation of 22 bottles. So let me kind of draw my normal distribution curve. Look like a pimple or a mole or what do you call those things? Whatever. So my mean or my x bar is 153. And my standard deviation is 22. So if I go off, so this is going to be 22 this way and 22 this way. Let's see how good a math I can do. This would be, let me draw those in red there. 175. And we subtract 22 from this, we get 131. So what's the question to ask? Assuming a survey represents normal, what is the range of the number of bottled waters? Approximately 68.2% is that one standard deviation left and right. So it's 131 to 175. There it is. Rock on, brothers and sisters. What is the fourth term in this binomial expansion? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a pain in the neck. So let's do it over here. 8C0, 8C1, 8C2, 8C3. There's the fourth term. Fourth term right there. So I don't really care what these ones are, but then we're going to have to go do these parentheses. And the exponents for these start at 7, nope, 8, sorry, it's an 8. 8, 7, 6, 5. If you remember, these two have to add up to 8, 3, but this would go 0, 1, 2, 3. Now I got to figure out what 8C3 is, so I go over my calculator, I hit menu, probability, combinations, 8, comma, 3, enter, 56, I go back. Okay, so 56 goes here, and x goes here, that's just a 1x, and negative 2 goes here. So I want to type in all the things that are numbers, so that's these two things. So I'm going to type in 56 parentheses, negative 2 parentheses, cubed. Negative 448. So I got to have a negative 448, so these aren't right. And then it's x to the fifth. There it is, right there. X to the fifth. All right, kids. You should probably know by now, the only way you're going to solve these equations is if these two bases are the same. And the bases you're going to look for are 2, 3, or 5. Every once in a great while, they're pretty obnoxious and put 7. But it's usually 2, 3, or 5. In fact, it's usually just 2. It's actually 2, 3, or 5. 90% of the time it's 2 or 3. But every once in a while it's 5. And then this great once in a while they throw in a 7. So, instead of writing an 8, we're going to write 2 cubed. That's 8. And then we're going to write down whatever else is left over. 3. Oh, here goes my pen again. Yay! 3k plus 4. And on the right side, instead of writing a 4, we're going to write 2 squared. And then write down its parenthesis, its exponent, which is 2k minus 1. And so the question says, which k value satisfies this? So all I got to do now is set the exponents equal to each other. So this is 9x plus 12, or 9k plus 12, equals 4k minus 2. So bringing the 4k over, I get 5k equals negative 14, divide by 5, divide by 5. I get k equals negative 14 over 5. Now that's what I think is my answer. I'm going to check it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do control division, negative 14 over 5, control var x. I'm going to stow that baby into x. And then I'm going to type in the equation. It was 8 raised to the 3x minus 4. Or was it plus 4? Plus 4. Plus 4. And hit enter. I get some obnoxious number. I really don't care. And then I'm going to get 4 raised to the 2x minus 1. You could have stored it into k, by the way. I didn't. I think it was 2x minus 1. Yeah, there you go. Same obnoxious number. We're right. We're done. Over. All right. Oh, here we go. There are 8 people in a tennis club, which means they can use to find which one can be used to find numbers that can come in first place, second place, and third place in a tournament. Anytime you're talking about ordering things for some reason where it makes a difference whether or not you come in first, second, or third, anytime, that's always permutation. So C doesn't make any sense. There are 8 people in the club, and we're going to pick 3 of them to come in 1, 2, and third place. So that would be 8 pick 3. You would use combinations for things like teams, committees, groups, where you just say, hey, look, I need 4 of you. Come on, let's go. Not like, okay, the first one's getting paid $10 million, the second one's getting paid $5 million. Wait, we're not athletes. We don't make that much money. All right, so P, order matters. All right, let's go. Where are we at? 11. If sine A equals 1/3, what is the value of cosine 2A? Okay, if you remember correctly, we have 3 formulas for cosine 2A. Here they are. I don't know. So here they are. I can use any one of these 3. Boom, boom, or boom. So, I want the one with sine. So that's 1 minus 2 sine squared A. Or theta. Or whatever variable you want to use. So, I'm going to convert this to 1 minus 2 sine squared. What are they using here? A. Oh, they actually use A. Wasn't that nice? 1 minus 2. And you got to remember to square this thing. Sine of A is 1/3. So if I type that in my calculator, because God knows I can't do that without my calculator, 2 minus 1 minus 2 parentheses control division 1/3 squared. By the way, 1/3 squared is 1/9 times 2 is 2/9. 1 minus 2/9 is 7/9. But you know, we'll figure that out. Should be 7/9. There we go. Done. Problem's over. 7/9. Choice 4. I only got 2 problems left on this video, chillin'. In the interval from 0 to 360, notice we are not including 360. Be careful with that. Sometimes it asks. Tangent is undefined when x equals. Okay, so tangent, if you remember, is sine theta over, well, if I'm using theta, over cosine theta. Well, fractions are only undefined when the denominator is equal to 0. So really what they're saying is, when does cosine equal 0? And cosine equals 0, if you remember, take a look at the curve. Cosine equals 0 at 90 and 270 degrees, right there. Choice 4. And 2 left. Ooh, we get to finish the page. What is the domain and range of this? Okay, so when you have a radical, it's weird how these 2 questions came in a row. When you have a radical like this, whatever this total is has to be greater than or equal to 0. This thing has to be greater than or equal to 0. Well, what would make it equal to 0? A 3 would make it equal to 0, but what you may not know is also a -3 would make this equal to 0. So, those are your key points. Now, should I go in between or should I go outside of these? Well, let's see. Make this a 4. That would be 9 minus 16. That would be a problem because that would give us a negative value. But if I made this a 2 or a 0, let's go 0. Let's go with a number in between. That would give me 9 minus 0, which would be easy. So what we want to do is pick the numbers and the values in between -3 and 3. So, well, then none of these actually make any sense. And this is the answer. And the smallest that this could possibly be is 0. Therefore, the range is between 0 and 3. Okay. Finally, subtracted from. Guys, highlight this. Subtracted from. You know what it means? It means subtract backwards demi. So, we're going to take x cubed and subtract off, oh, there's no x cubed, so we need x cubed. Boom, boom, gone. Woo, already 50-50 guess. Then we're going to take 3x squared. I'll bet this was going to be hard. And I'll bet, oh, and then we're going to subtract off x squared. Well, that didn't matter because those are the same. So let me erase all this mess. It looks like the next one's going to be the one that makes the difference. And then we're going to subtract off, I'll highlight them. We're going to subtract off -2x minus 3x. So -2x minus 3x is -5x. And there's your answer. Yay! We are done with that video. That was a short video. Only took 20 minutes. All right, nice job. If I'm helping you, and you get 100, email me at the end this summer, whatever, mrkrausemath.com. You can go there, find a link, or you can just email me at kenkrause@gmail.com. Let me know that you got 100 on that test. I want to put you on my wall of fame, which I don't have yet because I've been teaching 20 years and I still have yet to get 100 on a Regents exam. I have had plenty of 99s. I have tons of kids getting the 90s. It takes that crazy kid that's willing to put the work in and stay for 3 hours and look that test over and find the dumb mistake, because it's only a dumb mistake. All right, kids, no cheating, work hard, stay with it. All right? Peace out, sister and brothers.